Hey there, YouTube land, and a lot of people have been doing these whole top 50 lists for horror. So I thought, you know what, but they've been doing them like in like kind of increments. So I decided to push the envelope a bit because that's what I like to do. And that honestly, because I really didn't have the time. I've been watching everybody else's videos. I've watched Losberg's just recently, and he has such an amazing list, so well thought out. I mean, if you're not subscribed to Losberg 711, you really should be. He's the newest member of Cathode Ray, by the way, guys, and he's a great addition. So if you haven't checked him out, please do so because he is a fantastic YouTuber. He puts out some quality videos. So check Chris out. He's a great guy. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to be taking breaks in between there. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning here, but I said I'm going to not go to bed until I get this list done. I'm going to commit myself to it. Don't have to work tomorrow, so I can sleep in. Number 50. Trick or Treat. Classic horror anthology, brought back horror anthology in so many great ways. Dylan Baker's amazing in this. We got Ronnie Cox, no, not quite. Brian Cox, Anna Paquin, Leslie Bibb is the small part at the beginning of it. It's just a fantastic film. It really celebrates Halloween, and truly celebrates Halloween. And if this was top Halloween films that I was doing tonight, this would literally be in the top 10. It would be maybe even be in the top 5. But as the top horror films, and all these lists can change, like places can change, movies can change. It's basically on your mood when you're making up the list. I'm willing to bet almost everybody on this thing that did it. Every time they thought out the list and they got it and it's perfect and this is their list, you're gonna see like, oh damn, I forgot that, and I know that I'm gonna have one of those type things. So Trick or Treat, number 50. Number 49, I want to get some blaxploitation in there, and I am with Blackula. It is a fantastic little film, highly underrated, just a really great film. Love every bit. I love the opening of this one here. The guy that plays Dracula, I should have really dug it out and just like checked on who did it, but he does a really good job. I thought he did an amazing job, and although the name says like Blackula, it's Mama Walde, and William Marshall does he's incredible. This is way better than it should be. And Gordon Pinson, man, God love him. He's Canadian. He's from Newfoundland here. He's a friend of my late grandmother's actually. 48. Tales from the Crypt. It's a classic anthology film. We talk about classics like modern classics like Trick or Treat. They wouldn't even be around if it wasn't for movies like Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt has just such a wonderful cast. We got Ralph Richardson in this. We got Joan Collins, Patrick McGee. Just so many fantastic people. It's directed by Freddie Francis. Was a really great Hammer horror director, and it really captures the flavor of the old EC Comics. That old time, that pre-censorship time in comics before the whole big the trial, the whole seduction of the innocents went about. It's solid all the way through. Love all the stories in this one here. The Killer Santa one's creepy as heck, and Joan Collins is amazing, beautiful in this, of course. Peter Cushing was heartbreaking and heart. It's just fantastic, and the final story, the very final story, with the house of of the blind, it's just amazing what they did with this film. It's incredible, and the fact that they were able to take these stories and not just from Tales from the Crypt. You'll notice that some of these are from About Horror, Haunted Fear type thing, because there's a few in the EC horror lineup of comics, and trust me, I've read them all. Tales from the Crypt is amazing. Now, About Horror is awesome too. So my feet don't fall asleep. Let's move around a bit. 47, The Abominable Dr. Fives. The first one in this here set. The Dr. Fives movies are fantastic, in my opinion. I really love them. I'm a really big fan of the more of the classic-y, 70s-ish horror. And the Fives stuff is pretty incredible. Here you got a guy, Vincent Price, who's known for just his alliteration, the way he uses his voice, the way that he commands. I mean, this is a guy that was a star not only on screen, but he's a star on radio as well, and that was because he had such an amazing voice. And Later on, he would use it for like the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Not one of the better Scooby-Doo cartoons, but still, anything he put his voice into was amazing. Michael Jackson's Thriller, for instance. Now here's one where he takes his voice pretty much away from him and does this incredible character here. The makeup is amazing. The types, the solid death is it's fantastic. There's another Vincent Price in my there's a couple more Vincent Prices that are going to be on this list here. But Dr. Fives rings in for me at number 48, right? 47. 46 is Puppet Master. Just a classic film. Paul Matt. It's all centered in this hotel at Bodega Bay. Number 2 almost made the cut, but it was just so amazing. And like I said, when I first did this video, and this is a retake of this part actually, is that I'm only putting one of each franchise that I choose to put on here in there. And Puppet Master, the original, it was creepy, it was cool, and it was well done. These iconic characters like Blade, Tumbler, like Leech Woman, these are like people you know. There's been comic books. There's been like they tried to do a TV pilot, like a sci-fi type movie with Corey Feldman, that failed miserably. But still, you know, this it's part of our lexicon. It's part of our horror roots now. And Puppet Master really deserves it. Full Moon did a great job with this. '45 is Rabid. Rabid with by Cronenberg. I'm a big Cronenberg fan. If you watch my channel, you know that Cronenberg's like one of those big guys that I really like. And this here picture is heartbreaking. And when you watch the movie, you know why. This is kind of a vampiric type of film, vampiric contagion type. It's really good. And I went back and forth between this one and Shivers. I really don't want to give away a lot of it, but check it out. All right. '44 is Jaws. Classic movie. The music makes the movie, and Jaws, this is the one where the music truly does make the movie. The John Williams score on this is amazing. Let's face it, the shark looks terrifying sometimes, but other times, not so much. But this is incredible. Steven Spielberg did an amazing job with this. And he should always be like congratulated on the job they did with Jaws. So, amazing film. It was a summer blockbuster. Creepy as hell. Not for many horror films that did become summer blockbusters, but this one was one of the originals. I hate the numbering part of this. '43 is American Werewolf in London. I love this movie. I think Griffin Dunne steals the film, to be honest with you. You know, Griffin Dunne and the effects really steal this film. I mean, you know, the bad moon rising scene is just classic horror now. The makeup effects, the changing in this thing is so beautiful. It's an almost perfect, like, movie, perfect werewolf film. It just does such a great job. See my cat in the background there? I'm like looking around, seeing if there's any space in between for him. But let me know what you think on this one. This is one of my favorite werewolf movies of all time. It just really is. Number 42, Demons. Lamberto Bava, before he was doing this here, he did a lot of like second unit directing work for Dario Argento. He was like doing pickup shots and doing like sequences for Argento and some of his other films. He even had his father work with him on Inferno with you know, Argento and we had Argento and Lamberto Bava and Mario Bava. So he had like 3 like classic Italian horror, and I'm a really big Italian horror guy, so you can see more Italian horror in my collection. Demons is just such a fun film. The soundtrack is incredible. It's just non-stop from start to finish. It's not a slow film. There's no like big slow burn or build. This thing like picks up momentum pretty fast. We even got Michelle Sauvé as as kind of the masked character that's bringing out these tickets that for everybody. This mysterious character, and it's just such a fantastic film. Snaps put a fantastic Blu-ray of this, but I love the this one here as well. This is the Arrow edition. 41, Torso. Sergio Martino's classic horror giallo that really, really defined it helped define the giallo, like outside of Argento and early Bava stuff. This was Martino was the man, and he just did such a great job. There are so many people that like worked in the giallo industry, but this one really captures a lot of the flavor of all the film. There's the sleaziness aspect of it. There's the mystery aspect of it. There's the tension. I dare you not to find the last 15 fucking minutes of this tense, because it is incredibly insanely tense. Basically, you've got a girl in a place where she shouldn't be, where the killer doesn't know she is, and she's hiding in a secluded area, basically in the same house as the killer, and trying to make sure that she's slowly removing all aspects of herself so that the killer doesn't realize that she is actually there or with him. And for that reason alone, that makes it here on this list. It is just a great film. Susie Kendall is one of the big names when it comes to the actresses that do giallo films, and just everything, the music, the acting in this, the sleaziness. It encapsulates what giallo should be, and does it so perfectly. And it's a great one. Sergio Martino, you did a great job. And when I come back, guys, I'll be doing number 40 to 39. I'll be back in a couple. Hey, the YouTube land, and I am back with numbers 40 to whatever. Backwards cap this time. Whoa. Okay, number 40 is Joseph Zito's A Prowler. Just a classic slasher film. A lot of people think this is a slow burn, as it should be. Movies should not go, always at a breakneck pace. And this one goes at a leisurely pace, but it does it so well. The effects are amazing by Tom Savini. Joseph Zito's direction is spot on. The acting is really great, especially with Farley Granger. Farley Granger is a really classic actor within some great movies, including Hitchcock's Strangers on the Train. Just amazing, amazing stuff. So if you haven't seen this movie, you got Farley Granger, effects by Tom Savini. I think Lawrence Tierney also was in this one as well. Just a great film. Number 40. Number 39, The Beyond. Lucio Fulci's. It doesn't get much better than this when you're looking at Fulci stuff. I know there's a lot of fantastic Fulci films, but this is pretty much like one of his trademarks, and there's a reason for it. It's just an incredible film. It's not for everybody, but if you like Italian horror, The Beyond is one you got to check out. Is this his best? No, I'm going to get to what his best is later on. Number 38. Theater Blood, Vincent Price. It's always been one of my favorite Vincent Price films. I'm a really big Shakespeare fan, as most of you guys know, that if you've been watching my channel for a long, long time, when my original career aspirations back in the day, a long, long time ago, before I got into writing and all that type of stuff, was acting. So didn't do that, but Vincent Price was one of my idols when it came to that. I did a lot of Shakespeare when I was young. A lot of Shakespeare. So when I saw this, I thought it was both like hilarious and just amazing. Vincent Price really, really makes this film. If you're an actor or a fan of like acting in Shakespeare, this is going to be a favorite of yours the second you see it. It's just so well done. And he's got this like wig in one scene there that's hilarious. It's kind of like the Bob Fosse type of thing. Not Bob Fosse. I'm looking for that painter guy from yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. But Theater Blood, check it out. It's actually really freaking good. Let's see where we are now. 37. I probably messed these up anyway, if I did. There's 50 here anyway, so. Maniac Cop. Bruce Campbell, Tom Atkins, Robert Z'Dar. Oh man, this is such a great cast. Lauren Landon, Richard Roundtree, Will Smith, Sheree North. Man, this is an amazing film. Great new character. There was like 2 more of these. It was really hard for me picking between 1 and 2, but 1 has got the man, Bruce Campbell, and Tom Atkins. How can you beat that? I mean, what a combination. And they just do so good. And when I saw this, I didn't know who like the main actor was going to be, even though it was leaning towards Campbell. You know, Atkins was still like a big name, so I kind of didn't expect that what happened happen. And you've seen this by now. I'm hoping to God you have. Atkins bites it in this one and really surprised me because that was the man. That was the stash. He did not die in horror films. At least, well, Halloween 3 sort of. We don't know. We assume he does, but just incredible stuff. '36, The Changeling. George C. Scott. This is one of my favorite haunted house, like haunted movies of all time. There's a lot of really great ones there. There's The Haunting. There's, the original 13 Ghosts. There's House on Haunted Hill. But for me, when I was growing up, they showed on TV a lot. It always creeped me out. I always couldn't sleep afterwards, and it wasn't like the ghost was like really it wasn't one of those harsh ghosts. It wasn't like going around like trying to kill a bunch of people. There's no body count thing. This one here, it's just really, really creepy. The atmosphere is so well done in this film, and it's amazing. The Changing. If you haven't seen this movie, do yourself a favor, find a copy of this one, pick it up. Wait till like the month of Halloween. You're doing like the horror thing. You want to do like, if you're not doing the month, you're doing like the week of Halloween type thing. Let this be on your list. It's a really great film, and it really deserves to be rediscovered. I would love to see this get like a Scream Factory or Arrow video release because it really deserves it. It's just a great film, and I'm sure anybody that knows this film can attest to just how fantastic this film is. 45, speaking of ghost stories, is The Shining. And 35, sorry about that. 35 is The Shining. And a horrible adaptation of the book, but an amazing film by Kubrick himself. It's just incredible. I do have the Blu-ray of this one from my good friend Sammy, who I was going to actually, was invited to a stream tonight, but I was in the middle of doing this. So Sammy, if you see this, sorry, couldn't get on. Just decided to get this done tonight. Hope to be on the next one. Because Sammy Falgar 517, guys, he does some great streaming, so check it out. Just everything's about this. It's fantastic, beautiful. Jack Nicholson plays batshit crazy so well. Shelley Duvall gets like a lot of crap for the stuff she did, but she went through a lot during making of this movie, and she does a great job. She plays off of Nicholson's. She looks terrified, man. She looks terrible. Shelley Duvall looks terrified anyway, like when a lot of these things, but she looks extremely terrified, and you can see her character seems real. Jack Nicholson always seems crazy. That's always my one like flaw with this film that I think is that Torrance doesn't have like a growth, kind of like a spiraling down. He's pretty spiraled down by the time we see him, and I know in the book he had issues before as well, but not to this extent. He just looks, he's a Nicholson. He looks batshit crazy right from the beginning. Though that being said, Nicholson once he goes into the full, completely crazy mode, and you get that the kind of like just all work no play type of Jack. It's just so amazing. Number 34, I think. I'm going to say it's 34. Evil Dead. I don't really need to say a lot about this. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, amazing effects, an amazing film. Just so well done. This shows you how great practical effect can be. And the creepiest part of this whole goddamn movie for me is the girl with just a little bit of makeup and stuff on, sitting like pretty much in the doorway, talking in that little kind of like little girly voice, frightens the crap out of me. Still, even thinking about this means I'm not going to sleep all night. Evil Dead is a classic, and it's a classic for a reason. I love this film. 33 is, we're going back to my Italian type again, my Italian roots, I guess you want to say, for horror, because I grew up with Italian films being a large part of my childhood, and this one here especially. And it is Black Sabbath. This is the anthology film that creeps the hell out of me. See that freaking like face in the middle? That scared the crap out of me. Tonight, this still scares the crap out of me. just so well put together. There's two very different versions of this, and just shows you how the placing of the story can change the tone, the momentum of the film. So if you're going to get this one here, you can bypass the Kino, grab this Black Sabbath right here from Arrow Video. Great edition, and it's a 3-disc edition, by the way. Just an amazing film. Black Sabbath is one of my favorite Italian horror films of all time, and definitely one of my favorite anthologies. Boris Karloff is in this; does a great job as the host of it. He's excellent in the stories as well. But for me, The Drop of Water is the one that sticks with me. The Boris Karloff one is actually the one I like least. And people say that a lot of that is to do with like when you watch it, like what order the stories are in. But still, The Drop of Water and The Telephone are my two favorites. Number 32, Lalsberg had this one much higher on his list, by the way, and I can see why, because it's a fantastic film. But it's on my list, so that's saying something, right? Lalsberg, I'm also a big Polanski fan, and Rosemary's Baby, an incredibly paranoid film, so great, so well done. I mean, Mia Farrow came into this one, and she knocked it out of the park. John Cassavetes was in, played the husband. He did what he had to do for the film, but oh man, what were their names in it? Ruth Gordon, right? Ruth Gordon in this one, Maurice Evans, of course, who will later go on to be in, of course, Planet of the Apes, man. Ralph Bellamy, just such older actors with just really rounds out this cast. Older, seasoned professionals, veterans, really do a great job of making this movie such an incredible freaking ride. There's not a second of this that I don't like. It's just such a beautifully shot film, such a wonderfully done movie. Even the freaking trailer of this thing is creepy as hell, and it just gives very little away from the film when I first saw it. So this movie runs 136 minutes short because it does not seem long. Rosemary's Baby, I love this movie. Number 31. The Bride of Frankenstein. Probably, in my opinion, one of the greatest sequels that was ever made, and the one that completely surpassed the original. So, Bride, just such a great movie. Loved it. I know I'm not getting a great script on this. It's 4-something in the morning that I decided to do this, but Bride of Frankenstein was always one that I wanted to put one Universal on this. I was really limiting myself. So, okay, one Universal is going to go on this, one of this franchise, one of this, and I went through, I scoured. It was going to be the Wolfman, it was going to be Dracula. I'm going to use the underrated Son of Dracula, which is a fantastic freaking film with Lon Chaney Jr. It was so far ahead of its time. Just go back and watch it again. It's a really great film. But Bride of Frankenstein is such a fantastic one. There's a great wraparound piece to it. The story itself just does such an amazing thing. It really brings the characters forward. It develops the characters more. It puts more of a humor onto it. I think that the director, James Whale, actually gets to really show his voice way more in this one than he did in the first. So it's just incredible, guys. Check it out. It's just such a freaking fantastic film. I'll be right back. Gotta grab some tea, and then we'll get into number 30 to number 29. Hi there in YouTube land. I was back. So anyway, number 29 on this here list is actually a Hammer film. And why did I choose this one over the so many great Hammer films that were out there that I thought I'd put on the list? What made this Dracula one the one that I went for? I went for Dracula Prince of Darkness. No, it doesn't have Cushing in it. It's very different. It's got Andrew Keir as the main, kind of the protagonist, and the dialogue was so bad that Christopher Lee actually saw it in this film. But this was the first Dracula Hammer film that I saw. It's the one that left the greatest impression on me. Scars of Dracula is by far my favorite, but I had to do the best horror films. This one just has something about it that I really love. I go back to maybe it's the fact that I go back to my childhood, and I mean I debated actually putting on the Franklin Gala thing because it was such a huge part of my childhood, and I even thought about it, and that became I'm gonna do another video basically with honorable mentions, and that'll be in there. But spoiler alert. Number 29 is Prince of Darkness. It's a fantastic film. It's well shot. You know, Terrence Fisher, one of the original Hammer directors, the guy to go back and do like the Hammer stuff. He, it's just an amazing film. I know there was like there's certain things with Barbara Shelley's in this one, and Barbara Shelley's amazing, and she's gorgeous. I love the Hammer Dracula films. I think they're fantastic, and the whole series is fantastic. I like when Losberg was talking about his like he talked about the Halloween stuff, and so he likes mostly all the franchise and stuff. I feel like the same thing, but the Dracula franchise. I don't think there's one that I actually do not enjoy. I mean, like there's some that are not as good as others, but this one always stuck with me. I think this was one I saw like pictures of in books first, and it really caught my attention. Like in Fan Sponsored Filmland, and like the Dracula book that I had when I was a kid. I know that picture like Barney the Vampire, like the Penny Dreadful thing that was done, and just really caught my attention. I love that film. Number 28 is the Canadian slasher giallo film, Curtains. I've recommended this one to almost everybody that I've ever met, and most times this one gets rave reviews every time that the person sees it. I'll tell them, it's paced differently, but once it gets going, it really goes well. It's very stylistic. It's very well done, and nobody's complained yet. This is a fantastic film. It's got a great cast in this one here. It's got the great Howard Vernon in here. John Vernon. And John Vernon is just one of those guys. He's got this big booming voice, and he can chew the scenery, but he does it so well. So amazing. We got Linda Thorson in this one here. Samantha Eggers in this film. Just an amazing cast. You really got to check this out. It's a beautiful film, wonderfully well done. This is a wonderful edition, by the way, guys. It's Snap Station. Get it. Don't get like the crappy one, where it's like 5 or 6 on a disc or something like that. Get yourself this one. Really treat yourself. Halloween time. Get yourself Curtains. Number 27 is, and I banded back and forth on this one, but I'm going to go with the original because I think that's going to be more the crowd pleaser for more people. The one that started it all, Wes Craven's Scream. And Scream is a fantastic little film. It's more than a slasher film. It's more than a meta film. It's a resurgence. It's a revitalization of an entire genre that looked like it was dead. And it does it so well. It does it with class, does it with style. And I would like to be able to say that it doesn't all work, but you know what? It really does all work. From the revelation of the killers, to the reasoning behind it, to just the way that the kills are done. And there's so many allusions to other horror films there, to Suspiria, just so many different other great, fantastic films. And Scream does it, and it does it really well. There's been a lot of detractors over the years, because once something gets popular, there's always going to be people that are going to tear it down afterwards. But Scream, sorry guys, this is an amazing film. I love this one, and this goes at number 27 on my top 50 list. Number 26 is an actual giallo, and one of my favorite giallos of all time. You'll see a couple of giallos on my list because, man, that's what I'm into. Tenebrae. Tenebrae is just a fan-fucking-tastic De Argento film. The kills on this are utterly beautiful. The colors just almost bleed off the friggin' screen. They're so good. We got John Saxon in this one here. I think it's what's the lead in this one? Is it Francioso? No, Francioso in the other one. It's Francioso. Antonio Franciosa, I think. That's how you pronounce the name. I swear if I get it wrong, I sometimes do. But Tenebrae, love this movie. From beginning to end, the revelation of the killer in this one is so brilliantly done. The extra little twist at the end, and the soundtrack on this one I've listened to, I think, more than almost any soundtrack out there. It's just got such a beautiful score. I've got a record player, but around here, there's no getting soundtracks. They're so impossibly expensive to import and stuff like that. We got an HMV, but they haven't really shown anything up yet. I would love to find myself like a Goblin soundtrack, something like a Tenebrae or just one of their stuff. I'm really looking at to get some of that. Yeah, because digital just doesn't cut it for something like this. You really got to have some nice, like a good vinyl for this. And Tenebrae is just an amazing film. The music in this thing is incredible. The work. I mean, guys, all my Cathode brethren out there, Mark, Sean, Doc, Lauren, Chris, Brandon, man, Tenebrae, gotta have it. It's gotta be in your collection. This is one that almost made my top 10. It really did. I juggled back and forth on what I was going to do. I maybe went for a little bit more of a maybe a little more of a crowd pleasing top 10, a little bit, but this really should have been up. This is such an amazing film, such great kills, and from the beginning kill, which is just, and it's basically you got a horror author here, and the murders in his books are coming true, and well, he's got to work with other people to pretty much find the killer, because it's his book. It's all getting blamed on him, and what happens? Well, go watch it and find out. 'Cause it's that freaking fantastic film. I'm counting them, don't you? The Howling, utterly fantastic werewolf film. It's brilliant. It's freaking brilliant. They're casted perfectly. Rob Picardo from Star Trek fame plays the very creepy, kind of like a werewolf in this one here, kind of like the Happy Face Killer. And there's just some amazing effects in this. I went back and forth on which one was going to go higher between this one and American Werewolf in London. And as much as I love American Werewolf in London, it's a great film. The Howling just beats it for me. I am a really huge fan of this film. There's so much fan service in this movie here. So many, we got Dee Wallace. She does a great job in the lead. She's an amazing person too. I have her on Facebook, and she's just does such incredible stuff. But check it out, Joe Dante, fantastic, amazing werewolf film, The Howling. I'm going to be talking more in depth when I get to my top 20. Got to keep counting these things. I hate that. 25. So number 24, Alien, the original. Slasher film space, basically, with an alien. Really well done. Love it. Just incredible stuff. It's an alien anthology. This is one I recommend picking up. Just got a ton of features on it. It's the beast of a box set. Alien is very atmospheric. The tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream," works perfectly. It is such a well done film. Just so claustrophobic too. It is so frigging claustrophobic. Wonderful cast. The Ripley character would get screwed up in parts 3 and part 4 of this series, but in Alien, she's beautiful, she's brilliant, she's kick-ass, and gotta love her. Number 23 on my top 50 horror is Clive Barker's Nightbreed. This is an amazing film, and I have to thank my good friend on here, Parsnip Matthew. If you haven't watched his channel, please do. He actually hooked me up with Nightbreed, and I was so amazed that he was able to get this one for me when I couldn't get it myself. I'd actually, at the time, was going to get it for my son for his birthday, so I couldn't buy it twice. I just couldn't afford to do it, and I really wanted to do that because I knew that he was going to really enjoy it. I knew it was going to be something that he would really get into. But it was one of my favorite films of all time, and just an amazing movie. This is a beautiful box set. It really, Nightbreed belongs in everybody's collection. If you can get it, man, get it. It's really a good one. Nightbreed. It's number 24. Number 23. Yeah, number 23. Number 22. One of my favorite zombie films of all time. Day of the Dead. It's my favorite of the George Romero zombie trilogy. Day of the Dead's always had a special place in my heart. I'm not sure why. It just is the one that really got me the most. And great edition by Scream Factory, though I would love the Arrow edition. Great stuff, man. It's fantastically done. It's a Romero classic. And some of these here, it's really hard to talk about because so much has been said about them. And I've said so much about them in other previous videos. I mean, if you're a zombie fan, or if you really want to get into, you want to see the best thing that Romero's done in the zombie franchise, in my opinion, it's Day of the Dead. And it's got a great documentary on there too, as well, but just some fantastic stuff. Dawn is a fantastic film too, and it did not make my top 50 list, but it almost did. And so number 20. Yeah, because we're getting down there. The Exorcist. William Peter Blady's The Exorcist. Great direction by Friedkin on this one here. Who can deny the utter horror of this film? It is just freaking fantastic. uh, back in the day when I first saw this, I was like, that doesn't scare me that much. That doesn't really get to me. And I was so full of myself. Every time I watched this thing afterwards, there were certain scenes, and I mean, they got me every freaking time. Loved them. So check out The Exorcist. I'm sure you have. This one came out on Christmas, and it's just the religious horror really does get to me. I'm not like an overtly religious person, but I do have belief in something. So good and bad. The whole concept of like demons and possession really does bother me. It's something that when I was going into journalism, one of the things I had to do is I had to do up this story on Satanists, and when I was doing research, I was watching these videos on like these so-called anyway real exorcisms, and whether they were real or not, some of them just really chilled me to the bone. In this movie, I think about it when I watch that again. So this has both cuts, the extended director's cut with the spider walk, and it's just incredibly creepy, and the original theatrical version as well. Either one of these are fantastic versions. There's not a bad version of The Exorcist, guys. Unless, you got one of those like TMC or TCM, no, yeah, TBS like cut versions. That wouldn't be very good. So I'm going to go and drink a little bit of my tea. We'll be back, and we'll get into the top 20, because, it's from 19 to 1. And who knows what I'll be wearing on my head next time. Hey there, so now we're going to get in from 19 to number 10. So I thought I'd just bring in a long-lost friend of mine, Mr. Lobsterhead in the Sky. So say hello to the giant lobsterhead in the sky, making a surprise return for this epic 50 of horror videos. So it's going to go over there for a minute. So wanted to bring it back. Want to do something epic. So, number 19 is Pumpkinhead. I'm sure this is on a lot of guys' lists. I know it's on Lawsberg's. It's a fantastic film. And unlike him, I do like both of the original two films, at least. I like the first two. And find them very fun. The second one's actually right up there with this one. This one is such a really good, kind of brought back to monster when there's not a lot of monster movies being done at the time. Just got such a, kind of like a Southern Gothic type of tale to it, kind of like a story that you tell, almost like around a campfire, a cautionary, kind of moralistic tale. And I really dug the way this was done. Stan Winston's creature makeup is just incredible. Lance Henriksen plays a heartbreaking role in this movie right here, and it is just so well done. Such a different film from a time when there's a lot of slashers and kind of different stuff going on. This is really different from the norm. He took a lot of chances with this one here, bringing back the monster. You agree, don't you? It's good. He agrees. I think he agrees. He likes this. He likes the idea of the monster being brought back. He's all 50s old school monster anyway. So, Pumpkinhead, guys. Seriously, this is one. For shame if you don't own this one. Get out and own it. It's a real great movie. Number 18, Hellraiser. Clive Barker, man. And his first. This is his directorial debut, and it just. He knocked it out of the park, man. This is it's such an incredible film. And the Cenobites are actually not in this a lot. They're not like the villains of the film. The villain of the film, of course, is, it's Frank, and it's, God, I can't remember the name. The wife again. It's been a while. But no, Claire Higgins plays her. Yeah, I'm totally blanking on that right now. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning here, so, but Hellraiser is such a fantastic film. It's a beautiful film. Ashley Lawrence is gorgeous in this one here, and, check it out, Hellraiser. It's number 18 on my list. Number 17 is going to surprise the hell out of everybody, because I'm betting you nobody would even think of this one. But for me, I'm a huge slasher fan. And this one doesn't get the credit that it deserves. It's seen often as slow. It's seen as kind of like a placeholder in a career of another better slasher films. But I think this did well. It really it upped the ante a bit. It kind of it brought in it brought Jamie Lee Curtis into not no, this is not Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis is one of the other slash films that Jamie Lee Curtis did. Uh, it dealt in its time. It is of its time. There's like a disco aspect to it, but there's just something about this film that's really rang to me. Maybe the fact that it's Canadian. Maybe the fact that we got Leslie Nielsen in a more of a serious role, or the way that it ends, kind of like again another film with kind of a heartbreaking style ending to it. Because once you find out who the killer is and the reasoning behind it, I just thought it was a fantastic little film, and that's the reason that number 17 on mine is actually Prom Night. I've always been a big fan of this film. I have this in many different versions. I have this version. I have the original Anchor Bay version of this. I've got a set with the four of them on it, and even about the remake when it came out. But Prom Night is number 17 without any type of trepidation. I just really did dig this film. I thought there was a lot of good stuff in it. Like I'm sure there's a ton of like movies and slashes you could probably put in around this, like The Burning, and even Jamie Lee Curtis' own Terror Train, and all that stuff. But Prom Night was just one that stuck with me, and for that reason, that's number 17 on this. Okay, let me see. Okay, just gotta make sure that's right. So number 16 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it's dark, it's gritty, it's always one of my favorites. This was the first horror movie I actually got to see in the theater. I was actually at a drive-in. I was like very young. I was taken there, and I'm guessing this was like a kind of like a re-showing of it type of thing, because I wasn't old enough when this originally came out. I know that's for sure. If I was, I know I was really young anyway when this. Very young when I saw this. This came out in '74. I would have been like 3 or 4 at the time. So maybe I did see it back then. But it was one of the first I saw. It was utterly terrifying, and I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't scared. When I was watching this, I was so creeped out. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I love this movie. There's not a lot you can say about it. Everybody's seen it. It's a nightmare that's been filmed for you, and that is Phantasm. It's just an incredible film. Love Phantasm. Agnes Scream was just born to play this role. Reggie Bannister's in this one. Just does a great job. Everybody in this one's fantastic. And it's like a nightmare. Like, if you were filming somebody's nightmare, it will be like this. And that's the way this is filmed. It's not filmed like a straightforward horror film. It doesn't have like it does have a kind of linear plot, but not completely linear. It doesn't totally make sense all the time. It seems some of the shots seem almost kind of like they're soft, kind of dreamlike, and that's the way the film is done. It's done very much like a nightmare. Like if you said, okay, I'm going to put a camera in my head and film this kind of whacked out nightmare that I'm having, and here you go. Do I have too many here? I'm just going to go the way that I've been going so far. So that's 16. Okay, no, it's good. So number 15 is... Actually, I'm switching around. See that? Last minute change. You get these things here. Is, I think he agrees with me. Don't Look Now. Just an incredible film. One of the greatest, type of horror one of the greatest edited films in all of horror cinema. Editing is something that's really not taken into consideration a lot when a lot of these films come out, but you've got to, especially for something like this. And it's brilliant. It's beautiful. Don Sutherland and Julie Christie do an amazing job. The portrayal, the lovemaking scene, and the beginning of this one, which turns out to be very tragic, very Lars von Trier-esque, is so well done that the guy, Warren Beatty, who was dating Julie Christie at the time, wanted to get it blocked because it looked that realistic. The film is shot so well by Nicholas Roeg. He just does an amazing job. This one here. Daphne du Maurier is one of my favorite authors. I had like this thing of like a bunch of her books and stuff and stories, and Don't Look Now is one that I always used to go back to. If you haven't seen it, treat yourself to at least give it a shot. Watch it on Hulu or something like that. But It is just such an amazing film. Uh, it's a slower film. It's done in the 70s, and that's the way that it was done. I went back and forth, guys. I was going to put in Invasion of the Body Snatchers or Don't Look Now. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 70s Philip Kaufman version, is one of my favorite films of all time. That actually went into the almost made it list. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But that's like The Thing and The Fly almost made it list as well. But Don't Look Now made it because I really wanted to have that one in there. I really wanted to have something that not only was just kind of different, but I knew that wasn't going to be in for a lot of people's. But I think it deserved being there. It's suspenseful. It's a thriller. It's horror in the most horrific sense of the way, and I almost took it because, but I did. There was just something that told me that, like, not have, but just have it in a really important spot, and I had to do that. Number 14 is Zombie Flesh Eaters. I told you it's a Fulci one that I like better than The Beyond. And it is this movie right here, Shark versus Zombie. Man, that is awesome. Well, what kind of awesomeness is that? Shark versus Zombie. Hmm. You know it is. It's freaking awesome. Just movie, start to finish. Just solid film. One of my favorites, if not my favorite zombie film of all time. I mean, I love this movie. Do I have a better zombie film? Maybe I do, but you'll find out. I just love this film. The eye damage scene kind of makes you wince, but Fulci does such a great job of this film. The opening sequence of this here, the end of this film, so nihilistic. I don't know. I just completely fell in love with this film. It's like when I'm watching Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. You know, that's another fantastic little film. But this one here is one that made the list. So. Number 13, Twins of Evil. Yep, another Hammer made it to the list. But since it was not a Dracula one, I decided I could do it. Twins of Evil is one that I've always been a fan of. Probably the Karnstein trilogy, and I know that my good friend Brandon, happy birthday again, buddy. Brandon is known on here as Skin Slit, and he's not just a great YouTuber, he's a great guy. All these guys that I'm talking about are actually like really nice, genuinely great guys that I really recommend that you check out. And he was watching The Vampire Lovers. He just really didn't get into it. Brandon's younger than I am, and a lot of YouTubers younger than I am. But the Hammer ones they have their own like style, and once you get into them, you really get into them. And this one here, I think Brandon might actually like this one a little bit better because Vampire Lovers is such a fantastic film with Ingrid Pitt. But for me, this one is like with the Smith twins. It's the Smith twins. No, it's not the Smith twins. It's Collinson twins, right? Collinson. Yeah, because it's like the when I think of Barnum's Collinson, it's Collinson twins. They just do such great jobs. Twins of Evil, like one is good, one is bad, and I just love this. Peter Cushing just does a very different role for Peter Cushing as well. We got David Warbeck from The Beyond in here, but Cushing is like mean in this movie. He's like a witch finder, one of those witch hunter type guys, and it's a very different role for Cushing, and I really liked it. I really liked the way what he did with it. It's like a Puritan type of role. Now, number 12. David Cronenberg's Videodrome. It's an amazing. I know. I don't have the really cool edition. I got the Criterion. It's pretty good though. It's got like Fear on Film, which is like the roundtable discussion with Garris, Landis, and Carpenter on here. But I'd love to have the other one, but sold out before I had a chance to get it. I'm a huge fan of Cronenberg. This is such an incredible film. Debbie Harry. Man. It's a body horror film. James Woods. And every time I watch this, I see something new. I see something different. Maybe something I didn't notice, or something I didn't notice as well, or something I didn't notice in the context that I noticed it in. And that's what I think is really great about Cronenberg's work, is that he can really do that over and over again. So check it out. It's Videodrome. And number 11. The first big budget 3D film put out by a major studio. This is like one of the first huge 3D films of all time. And did it get a good edition on 3D? I was going to do a review of this one, and I didn't do it yet, but I will. But I got to say, the 3D in this movie is incredible. So if you do get it, you can know you will be getting really great 3D. It is a Blu-ray 3D. It is from Warner Brothers, and you saw me pick it up recently, and it's number 11 on my list. I really, really do enjoy this film. It's Vincent Price, House of Wax. It is just an incredible film. I mean, like I like the original too. The original might be even a little bit better, like the Mystery of the Wax Museum. But for what it did, I wanted to put one 3D horror film on there, and I went back and forth between which 3D one was going to go on there. Was it going to be Friday 13th 3D? Was it going to be Annabelle 3D? Was it going to be Creature from the Black Lagoon, which I really seriously considered was going to be the House of Wax. And I wanted not just the best film, like 3D horror-wise, that I thought on here, but also the best represented film on home video to date for 3D. I mean, Creature from Black Lagoon got really good 3D. Friday 13th, which had great 3D in theater, had shitty 3D on home video, and Annabelle has some decent 3D as well. But for overall presentation, but it's not just for that. For the movie itself, it was a game changer. It wanted to bring people back to theaters, and it really did for so many great reasons. House of Wax, it's got some amazing like effects in it, not just 3D effects, but I like the makeup effects are really well done. Vincent Price does a fantastic job in this one here, and there's not a boring second in this movie. This is a really well done film. Vincent Price, House of Wax 3D, number 11, and it deserves it. I'll be right back with my top 10 for this list here of my top 50 horror movies of all time, or from all time at this date that I'm doing it. Top 10 time for my top 10 horror movies of all time. Number 10 is H.P. Lovecraft's Reanimator. Like everybody else, I'm going to say it. Jeffrey Combs was born to play this role. Jeffrey Combs would agree. And I was lucky enough to get to meet Combs, and I completely geeked out when I first met him. And my better half did most of the talking for the first 5 minutes of a conversation, because I was a complete horror geek at the time. But afterwards, when I got into the swing of things, I actually got to talk to him about stuff that he did, like about this one, Reanimate, but From Beyond. And but some Star Wars stuff as well. Star Trek stuff as well. So, so I'm messing there. It's a fun film. I mean, it just goes completely batshit crazy. And I love every second of this one. Barbara Crampton's in this, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Everybody in this movie just does an amazing job. Bruce Abbott does a great kind of more serious, like the foil in the film. But the cat sequence, I'm a cat lover, so it's not the easiest thing to watch. But still, it just does it so well. There's such a horror, but like there's the dark comedy aspect of it. And man, Stuart Gordon, you're genius. This is such an incredible film. I go back and watch this one over and over again. It's one of my favorites. Number 9. Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to go with the original. Are there better ones in the series? I don't know, but the original I think sets the groundwork. It's dark. I mean, it's very dark. It's probably one of the least times you're going to see Freddy in the entire series. But you know what? What you see him, the times that you do see him, it's done well. He's not overexposed like will be later on. And I know part of it is like when there's so many sequels that have been out and TV shows and all that, it's hard not to be overexposed in later films, and I get that. Trust me, I lived through that. But he was still a mystery. He was still in the shadows in the first one, and it was still dark. And it wasn't like just Freddy. It's like the secrets in the shadows, secrets in like the suburban houses, shadows, the stuff that people don't talk about, the dirty, nasty things that people keep hidden in their closets. No matter how pretty their house looks on the inside and on the outside, you never know what's going on in the inside, and that is a lot of what Craven was trying to say when he did this film. And rest in peace, Wes Craven. You're a fantastic director, and this is like a great example of it. Number 8. Joseph Zito's Friday the 13th, final chapter. Why that one? Because you know that I'm a huge fan of Part 5, I'm a huge fan of Part 2. I think the final chapter does a great job of getting in all the really great aspects from all the other films. This is, of course, when Jason is still human. So I like that. I'm not a huge fan. Like I'll watch them; they're fun to watch, but they're not scary. The later films, the original Friday 13th films, say what you will about them now, but in the day you watch them in the theater, they were fun, like kind of scary type of films, and that's the way they were done. There was some suspense. There was a bit of build to them. Now, once they became Zombie Jason, that was kind of the window. It was kind of like that was paid for laughs and all. Kind of like, now, well, how are we going to put Zombie Jason in this week? Well, it looks like we'll have Carrie with them. And we'll have put him in space. We'll have him fight Freddy. We'll become a demon. But original actual Jason in the films, the original Jason, is part 4. Ted White does a great job playing him. We've got Crispin Glover in there with his amazing dance, so how can you not go with that one? And not a dead fuck. Just an incredible film. Number 7, and I think, well, not quite the final. It's the final Giallo in my collection. So Giallo that I rate highest is actually, this was given to me by an amazing, amazing person. I just want to say that. I want to say thank you again. And 2 of the films that he gave me are going to be on this list. Blood and Black Lace. I love this movie. It is one of my favorite Bava movies of all time. It is so brilliantly done. It is so beautiful. And the colors, the music, the score, just everything about this film just hits me in all the right spots. I know that there'd be Jellos be done. It would go crazy with the gore. Be more like twisted, like murders and deaths, and be harder to figure out. Than definitely harder this to figure out. But just the style, just the cinematography, just the amazing, like everything about this film, I really love. So, Blood and Black Lace, guys. We're down to my top 6, and number 6 is Return of the Living Dead. Yes, this is the steelbook that Scream Factory has beat. It's gonna be hard, guys. Return of the Living Dead is always one of my favorite movies. I love the soundtrack. I'm a big fan of all that style of music. Kind of like the I grew up around the time when get a lot of punk and later on it'd be like techno and pop and stuff like that. But I was big with a lot of punk music, and that kind of has a really kind of like a killer. This one has a killer soundtrack, and it just suits the film so well. There's so many great references to like some of the Romero stuff on here, but it just, for me, it tops. It really does. It really does. I love this movie. I watched this one day and night. Return of the Living Dead. Do you want to party? Fuck yeah, I do, and I want to party with that film. Number 5 is, ironically, also from you. So, awesomeness. Thank you. And it's just one of my favorite movies of all time. And I had to, had to put it on the list. And it is The Blob. Chuck Russell's The Blob is number 5 on my list. It's so good. Just so good. If you're an 80s kid like me, you grew up watching this stuff. Twilight Time's The Blob. Thank you. I mean, like Twilight Time, I don't buy a lot of their stuff because they're so expensive, so hard for me to get around here. Man, I really love this movie, and the fact that I have this one blows me away. It really does. It's stunningly fantastic. It's a great like monster movie. I love The Blob. The original Blob's amazing, and I just love the remake just a little bit more because Chuck Russell making Frank Darabont, who later going to do other stuff. Frank Darabont would go on to do Walking Dead the first season. They did The Mist, Shawshank Redemption, and Chuck Russell would do one of the most famous Friday the 13th of all, Dream Warriors. It's just not a wasted second celluloid for me. I love this movie, beginning to end. I just love the way they update Blob. Just incredible stuff. That's my number 5. Number 4 is one that I could put on in the background and just watch the beauty of the film. I could even turn it down and just watch it like that. And that is Suspiria. The original Suspiria. I'm waiting for the Blu-ray to come out. You know, Snaps thing. Uh, I'm a huge fan of Jessica Harper. She's the star of this one. I don't know what to say. It's just such a gorgeous film. It's definitely it's like a Grimm's fairy tale come to life. It's what it really is. It's really a creepy ass Grimm's fairy tale thing, and I love it for that. Suspiria is one of my favorite films of all time. Argento's one of my favorite directors of all time. Now number 3, which is me and Lawsburg, I think Mark put this one in the exact same spot. Halloween. I know this is going to be number 1 for a lot of people. This like really does some great stuff. It's a creepy ass movie. I love it. But man, what can you say about Halloween that hasn't been said? John Carpenter's score is perfect. It is a perfect score. It like accentuates every action that's on the screen. The movie's well cut. It's well edited. You don't need a lot of blood in this movie. It's not that type of film. That's what the later remake didn't get. It is a look at pure evil. That's what it is. It's a look at pure evil and basically undescribable evil, and there's no reason for it. It just is. I know they would like retcon that later on. They would give him a reason, which John Carpenter always regretted doing. But just a kid, one night, that turns into a monster. And becomes literally the boogeyman. Number 1 and 2 went back and forth on where I was going to place them on the list. Both these films are definitely 2 of my all-time favorites. This one here was given me by my good friend Parson Burger Matthew, whose channel I'm getting you guys to watch it because it's pretty awesome. And again, it's another limited edition series from the Twilight Time collection. And that one is Fright Night. And that's my number 2 pick. For real. Roddy McDowall plays Peter Vincent, famous vampire killer. Basically, he's been a lot of cheesier Hammer-style films, and he's been relegated to being the horror host of a show where the horror host part of it's going downhill and wanting to bring in like different types of films, not so much the gothic horror. It's just like basically when gothic horror was going out and like the monsters and aliens and slasher stuff was coming in. So he's pretty much like, he thinks his time is over, and thanks to Williams Ragsdale's character here, basically of Charlie Brewster, who gets to see a real life vampire played by Chris Sarandon move in next door. Peter Vincent gets resurgence and finds out that he's got a place as being a vampire killer in reality. The movie's great. Evil Ed, played by Stephen Jeffries. Stephen Jeffries does an amazing job. Amanda Beer, sexy, incredibly beautiful. I was in love with her when I saw this film. Early in love with her. I thought she was amazing. It's written and directed by Tom Holland. Fright Night is my proud number 2 on this list. Number 1, should not be surprised anybody that's watched my channel at all for a while. And I'm a slasher fan, and for me, this 1974 Bob Clark classic is perfect. And if this one, if it doesn't make your skin crawl, well, it's on too tight. And that is Black Christmas. Even looking at the cover actually creeped me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one that really bothers me from the sound. I remember being on Facebook one night, and you get those like kind of like things you do where people are on your Facebook page and you say, it's kind of a listing like this person, and there's like 4 or 5 of them type of quiz, and say, would this person like sing karaoke, and would this person like get up and sing and dance on stage with the person act. It was one of those cheesy little things you do anyway. And little did I know where this would go. So I was thinking I would sing, and so Nick Mancuso's name comes up, and he's a Canadian actor, very very good one, and also one of the voices in the main voice actually for the killer in this movie here, by Christmas. So I put like would sing and you pretty much I get like this message from Mr. Mancuso a few minutes later, pretty much saying you've obviously never heard me sing before. I definitely wouldn't do that. So that started a huge conversation that went on for a couple hours online, and it was a highlight, like of a definitely a highlight of my Facebook experience. Uh, and so there's a guy that kind of creeped me out. His way he's spoken at just scared the hell out of me. And there's the eye scene, the death with the glass unicorn, just the way that man. Margot Kidder just steals this movie. Olivia Hussey's utterly beautiful. She does a great job in the lead role. But Margot Kidder, man, she steals the film for me. And she stole my heart. She's just amazing. I would love to meet her. Yeah. I really want to meet Margot Kidder. That's one of my dreams. I was actually to meet her. Because she's had such a huge part. Versus my Lois Lane. She's one of my horror idols. And just a fantastic actress. Canadian as well, so that's also a big plus. So there we go. My top 50 horror films of all time are the ones that I thought about while I was going through that I thought maybe should be on the list, are the ones that I thought maybe I should put down a little bit lower or a little bit higher. Excuse me. And yeah, actually, alright, and it's been a good journey. It's been a good kind of awareness, and I want to do a list of basically movies that did make it. And I kind of tell you why, and maybe talk a little bit more about this. So we're definitely not done. Like Lawberg said, well, you learn a lot when you're doing this list. But let's bring this all together. And thank you so much. Be right back for the conclusion of this lengthy video, which I'm hoping you guys made it through because it's like 5:30 in the morning. So I did this for you guys. So here we are at the end of the video with a giant lap's head in the sky making a much requested return, I gotta say. Like that. Again, I gotta thank some people that helped me actually get this list together. I gotta thank Lalsberg and Manny Raposa actually for being some of the reasons that I did this video here. Guys like Falagar. And I gotta give a special thanks out to both to James Hayes, who actually got me two of the films on my top 10 list, the Blood and Black Lace and the Blob, and it totally overwhelmed me. And again, to thank Parsnip Burger, Matthew, who actually got me the my number 2 film on my list, Fright Night, when I thought I wasn't going to be able to get it. There's so many great people here in the YouTube community, and we kind of like looking out for each other. And you get humbled, and especially when something like that happens, and it really does. Especially lately, it's been it was a bit of a bummer, and those were things that picked me up at times that I really needed. I want to thank you guys all for like staying and watching this. For whether you're thumbsing it up and sharing it, which I really hope you do, thumbs up video and share it. Drain out the haters that I've had on some of my videos that just come in and thumb stuff down. It'd be nice if you come on, like if you just watch the video, just give it a thumbs up and give it a share if you like. I would appreciate that. But here we go. So for me right now, it is time for tea before I pass out. It's 5:30 in the morning right now, so before I go, just say hello to the giant lobster head in the sky, making a return appearance for what's hopefully one of my more epic videos. Thanks for watching, guys. That's been my top 50. Not done in 5 weeks, not done in 5 installments, but done in one huge epic installment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll talk about it a little bit more. This is not the end of this video. There's going to be a few more that going to do and talk about that, because I want to talk about. I was asked recently about which ones that what are like the top 30 that you should pick up, type of thing. I want to do that as a separate video, because I want to like talk about these are movies that I really enjoy. Well, I'm going to get into movies and features and stuff. That's going to be a completely different video altogether. But that being said, a lot of those are going to be on that list. What do you think? Ready to go, Red? Yeah, he's ready to go. So for me, John Lapshed in the sky, it's a happy Sunday, happy Labor Day, actually happy Monday. So get sleep in, and right now we are both out of here. Have a good one.